Please turn with me in your Bibles to 1 Peter chapter 1, first letter of Peter in the New Testament. 1 Peter chapter 1 and verses 18 and 19. 1 Peter chapter 1 verses 18 and 19. For as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversation, received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot. And our subject this morning is the true cost of living. The true cost of living. Well, we come this morning to consider these words of the Apostle Peter. Simon Peter is the inspired writer of this letter. And of course, as many of you will be well aware, Peter was one of the disciples, one of the 12 disciples who walked with the Lord Jesus Christ when he was on earth. And Peter is in many respects the foremost disciple, the head disciple, the leader, you could say, always named first. In any list of the disciples in the scripture, Simon Peter's name is foremost. And yet perhaps, sadly, he is best known not for his great faithfulness, although he was a faithful servant of the Lord Jesus Christ, but perhaps he is best known for his moment of failure, for his act of unfaithfulness in denying Christ on the night that the Lord Jesus Christ was arrested, was betrayed. Simon Peter, this very same apostle, denied that he knew the Lord. And he didn't just deny once, he denied 3 times. And this was a very sad moment, the saddest moment in the life of Simon Peter, no doubt. And he wept bitterly over it. And yet, when the Lord rose from the dead, he forgave Peter because, of course, he is full of kindness and mercy and grace, the Lord Jesus Christ. And he restored Peter to be a mighty apostle who was greatly used of the Lord, preached on the day of Pentecost, of course. 3,000 souls saved on that day under the sound of his preaching. And even today we hear Peter's voice through the word of God, the inspired writer of this letter, an uneducated fisherman, remember? That's what he was before he knew the Lord, a fisherman. But the Lord blessed him and made him a child of God, a mighty apostle. That's what the Lord does in the lives of each and every one of us. And these are his words that we will be focusing on this morning. Now, these words that we read, particularly verse 18, and 19, they are often read out when we gather for the Lord's Supper. When we partake of the bread and the cup, we at times read out these verses because they communicate to us what God has done for us in salvation and how that salvation has taken place. And of course, this is what we remember and what we consider every week, these same themes of salvation, the gospel message. So this will be an appropriate verse for us this morning. And it will only take up a brief time, but there is so much that we could say, as always, about these 2 verses. Verse 18, for as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversation, received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot. Well, what do these words mean? How do we glean the great riches from these 2 verses? Well, first of all, let us start with that word that we read in verse 18, redeemed. For as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things as silver and gold. We often hear that word in church. We often read of that word in the scriptures, redeemed. We sing about being redeemed in our hymns. But do we know what it means? What does that word mean? Well, whenever we read that word redeemed in the scriptures, really it means that we are set free by the payment of a price. It always has that sense of payment, of being purchased, being redeemed. That's what it means. Set free, but set free at a price, purchase. And the example I often give just to help us remember what redeemed means and this sense of purchase is very often if you have one of those gift vouchers, perhaps for Amazon or Argos or something, you get a gift voucher. You will read on the back where to redeem that voucher. It will be the same word. To redeem a voucher, it means to purchase something, where you can purchase something. And this is what this word means. Redeem, it has that sense of purchasing. Now, in the Old Testament, the word redeem took on a very special meaning. It was often used to describe what God had done for Israel in bringing Israel out of slavery. They were slaves, enslaved in Egypt, but God brought them out of slavery. He redeemed them from under the bondage of the Egyptians. He brought them out of slavery and gave them true life. That's how it is so often used in the Old Testament, the redemption of the Lord. And the gospel message in the New Testament, well, that too is also about redemption. How we, every single one of us, can be set free from a kind of slavery that we all have. We're all enslaved. That's what the Bible teaches us by our very nature. But the Lord, through the gospel, purchases us and gives us true life, true freedom, life in its fullest sense. This is, of course, why the Lord Jesus Christ has come. This is what the world doesn't understand. When the world hears about the Lord Jesus Christ, they think this is a terrible message, a message to oppress them. We don't want to hear about Christianity. But actually, the reason why the Lord Jesus Christ has come is to give us life, life in its fullest sense, life in its most wonderful sense, life in its abundance, spiritual life, everlasting life, true life. That's what Christ has come to give us. But that life has come at a cost that has been paid for us. That life that is given to us that we know in the gospel, it's ours, yes, but there is a cost, a price that has been paid. But God has redeemed us. He has redeemed us out of slavery. Well, now many people, of course, when you bring the gospel to them and you try and speak to them in these terms, well, they will argue, I'm not enslaved. You talk about being enslaved by my nature. What do you actually mean by that? How am I enslaved? I seem perfectly free. I can do whatever I want. Well, there are aspects of this slavery that are mentioned here in this verse. For as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things as silver and gold from your vain conversation, received by tradition from your fathers. We are redeemed, we are set free from our vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers. Now, these words are very interesting. They may seem quite mysterious. What do they actually mean? What is a vain conversation? Well, in the Bible, in our old King James Bible, our glorious translation, when you read conversation, it doesn't mean what we would understand it, as though we're having a conversation. We're speaking to one another and having a conversation. It doesn't mean that. Conversation here means our conduct, our behavior, or our way of life, our general way of life. That's our conversation. How is our life? Well, here we read a vain conversation. And vain means empty. It means pointless. That's what the word vain means. So you put them together, vain conversation. This is speaking about an empty way of life. That's what you're delivered from when you come to Christ. You're delivered from your vain conversation, from an empty way of life. And of course, that's very true. There is no depth in life without God. There is only emptiness. The life that we live before we are saved, before we know the Lord, full of emptiness, full of empty pleasures, we could begin with. Yes, there are many things to entertain us in this world, and yet ultimately they are empty. So many things in the world that promise so much and yet give us so very little. And I can think back to the time when I was unsaved. This was my life continually. You would go and do things, go on great holidays, and yet there was always something that would be disappointing about those places that you would go and visit. You'd go and watch movies, and you know what the critics would say, this is the best thing to see, you can't miss this, and yet you'd go and watch it, and it would really be underwhelming and leave you so empty. So often this world is like that. It hypes everything up, and yet it actually only disappoints you. It's an empty promise. It's an empty pleasure. Even if something is good, even the things that you love, well, they don't last very long. The pleasures of this world are so fleeting. Even a piece of music that you love. I remember again when I was unsaved, so many albums that I used to love, pop music and so on. And well, this is the greatest thing that you've ever heard at the start, but it wouldn't ever last. You'd soon get bored of listening to that CD, to that album. Soon it will become an empty piece of music. Yes, it was great at the start, but then it becomes increasingly empty. The joy empties itself out. And so this is a life of emptiness without the Lord. Empty pleasures, empty pursuits. Some people spend all their time and energy pursuing hobbies and pastimes that are just empty. I've known people, and again, well, I was one of these people. We would spend all our time just following a football team around the whole country. And well, I'm not saying it's bad to watch a sporting event, but this was our idol. This was our God. This was our pastime, our pursuit. And we spent so much money and so much time. What did I gain from it? Nothing. It didn't make me a better person. Didn't give me a deeper understanding of the world or anything like that. It was an empty pursuit. And so many people are engaged in empty pursuits. They spend so much time and energy in things that don't give them anything at all of any great depth or any great meaning to their lives. Some, of course, spend all their time just pursuing riches and wealth, accumulating money. That's my pursuit in life. And they think that's worthwhile. Even that is empty. No matter how much money you have, no matter how many possessions and properties, remember what the scripture says. The Apostle Paul to Timothy, for we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. We leave this world. We cannot take our riches with us. We cannot take our possessions with us. Ultimately, everything that you have, it's empty, dear friends. And this is what Peter is saying here. Your vain conversation, life without God, no meaning, no bigger picture, no point. You can try and give yourself a point in life. You can invent a meaning for your life. But really, that's only an invention, something that's just come out of your mind. It's empty. No great meaning to it. No higher authority has given you a meaning to your life. It's really only a fantasy. But we are delivered. We are redeemed from such an existence by the gospel. You're delivered from your vain, your empty conversation. But then we read that second part of the end of the verse, your vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers. Well, what does that mean? Well, this is quite interesting. This is saying that this emptiness is an inherited emptiness. An inherited emptiness. Your life is empty because it's an inherited emptiness. What do we mean by that? Well, sometimes, let me give you an example. You meet atheists, and why are they atheists? Why are they unbelievers in God? Is it because they've sincerely sat down and thought about these things? No. Is it because they've read the Bible and weighed everything up and examined the claims of the gospel? No, it's not because of that. Why are you an atheist? Oh, because my parents raised me an atheist. As though it's some kind of tradition that has been handed down to them. I'm an atheist because my family, they're all atheists. None of them are Christian. None of my friends are Christian. It's as though it's a tradition that is received. And this is a very sad tradition, of course. There may be somebody here. You're an unbeliever, you're an atheist, because, well, this is how I've been raised. This is how I've been taught. This is how my fathers, as it were, have taught me. A tradition received from your fathers. That's very sad. But of course, this can apply to those who would say that they are religious. You know, these words, they're not just speaking about an empty life. They're speaking about empty religion. Empty religion. We sometimes ask people, why do you come to church? Why do you come to church? Do you actually know God? Or is it just because it's a tradition that's been handed to you from your fathers? My parents, that's how they raised me. That's why I go to church. We've always been to church. That's why I come on a Sunday. That's why I sing the hymns. But it's not actually a personal faith. It doesn't really mean anything to you. That's very sad. To just come to church just out of tradition, that's just nominal religion. That's outward religion. And the Lord Jesus Christ always spoke against outward religion. This is not simply a tradition. We don't meet here to carry on a tradition. We meet here because we know and we love the living God. And Peter is stressing this. Read verse 23. He talks about being born again. Being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible, by the word of God, which liveth and abideth forever. Are you born again? Is there a spiritual work in you? Not just traditional outward religion. Do you know the Lord? Do you love the Lord? Have you repented? Have you had faith? Do you have faith in the Lord Jesus Christ? Do you know that there was once a time when your life was empty? It was completely empty without God, but then God saved you and now you know Him. Now you are saved. Now you know His blessing, His love in your life. Was there that time of dying to yourself and being born again? I was lost, now I am found. That's what we say to people. Don't just come because it's your tradition or because it's what you've always done. This is what the Apostle Peter is teaching us. This is what we are redeemed from. When we truly know the gospel, we're redeemed from our vain conversation, our empty life, and our empty religion, received by tradition from your fathers. We must know the Lord. But let us come back to this theme of redemption. Time is running on. I spoke about a price that was paid. What is the price? What is the price that was paid to purchase us? How much are we worth? Have you ever thought about how much you're worth? You can go onto Google and you can almost always find the worth of some famous sportsman or famous celebrity. Sometimes you do that. If you put in Bill Gates or somebody like that, he'll be worth probably over £100 billion, I'd imagine, or dollars. How much are we worth? Do you ever think of how much you're worth? But how much does God think we're worth? How much does God think we're worth? What has he done? What price has he put upon us? Well, it's far more than Bill Gates or anybody else in this world. In fact, it's not measured in money, not silver or gold, we read here, not with corruptible things as silver and gold. God sees us, he looks upon us, and we are so precious in his sight. Whoever you are precious in the sight of God. We have souls that God has given to us, and our souls are so precious. We constantly say this. Do you know how precious your soul is? Your soul is the very life of you. Your character, your heart, your affections, so precious. There is no life without your soul. If you take the soul out of the body, you are dead. The soul is the life of you. And your soul, it's eternal. The soul never grows old, not like our bodies. Our bodies will grow old, but the soul is always the same. That's why, and I always say this, that's why elderly people, they will always tell you, I feel the same within. Yes, this old body is decaying and corrupting, but inside I feel the same. They so often tell you that. Why is that? Because the soul never ages. We have an eternal soul within us, and that soul is so precious. God looks upon us. He sees the preciousness of our soul. And so in order to save our souls, who does he send? The Lord Jesus Christ. Nobody greater could have come. He doesn't send a prophet. He doesn't send an angel. That's not good enough to save our precious souls. He sends Christ, the one who is equal with him, the Father, the one who is equally divine. That's who he sends to redeem us. What a glorious privilege this is. What a glorious thought. The gift that God has given to redeem our precious souls. Do we think about this, dear friends? Christ is the one who has come, and the Lord has sent him. And we read of Christ here, verse 19. This is how we are redeemed, but with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb, without blemish and without spot. Christ is likened to a lamb, as he is in so many places in Scripture. And just in case you don't know why is the Lord Jesus Christ called the Lamb so often and here in the letter of Peter? Well, because in the Old Testament, daily sacrifices were offered up in the temple, in the tabernacle. Lambs were offered up. They were sacrificed. Their blood was shed. And they had to be lambs without blemish, no defect in them, no disability, no handicap. They had to be pure lambs. And they were offered up, they were sacrificed to make atonement for the people. That's what the sacrificial lamb was for. But the thing is, they didn't really make atonement for sin. An animal sacrifice, a lamb, they don't really make atonement for sin. They were just symbols. They were just teaching us something. They were pointing us to something. They were pointing to Christ. He is the true lamb. One day a Savior will come, and he will play the same role. He will be the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sin of the world. He will be the Lamb, the true Lamb, without blemish and without spot. The sinless Son of God. It's only when God looks upon Christ, he sees no spot, no blemish at all. Incorruptible is the Lord Jesus Christ. He's the true Lamb, without blemish, without spot, and he is the one who will be sacrificed for us. The only way we can have our sins atoned for It's through him. We don't put our faith in animal sacrifices. This lamb is going to make atonement for my sin. No, it's Christ. Christ's death makes atonement for my sin. And this is why it's so precious. We're running out of time. But with the precious blood of Christ, for a believer, the blood of Christ is so precious because it washes away all our sins. We have all sinned against God. Think of your life. Think of all the times you have lied, all the times you have stolen, all the times you have blasphemed God, all the times you've hated God. Perhaps all the times you've hated coming to church because we're going to talk about God. All those sins, they're washed away when you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. When you meet with God at the very end of your life, there'll be no condemnation. No condemnation, because Christ has taken the condemnation upon himself. This is why the blood is so precious to a believer. It's so precious. It washes away all our sin. And it's precious because it's the way to everlasting life. What a glorious truth this is for believers. This life is not the only life. We have everlasting life, an eternity of bliss and glory. How do we get to heaven? It's by the blood of Christ. This is the only currency that God will accept. You can't open the gate of heaven with your money that you've saved up in this life. That's no good. The only currency that God will accept and open the gate of heaven for is the blood of Christ. Do you have faith? That's how you get into heaven. Do you have faith in the blood of Christ, that he has died for you? This is what is all important. That is the only way to everlasting life. This is so precious for us. And finally, the blood of Christ is so precious because it is the great proof that God loves us. You know, you can search all the other religions. I often ask people from other religions, how do you know that your God loves you? How do you know that your God loves you? Yes, you may think he's holy and almighty and powerful and all the other things. How do you know he loves you? And then they will say, well, how do you know that your God loves you? And you just point them to the cross. You point them to the cross. This is how I know. Because God himself came down from heaven to earth and took upon himself the punishment for my sin. He didn't just come to work miracles. He came, he shed his blood, he died. No expense spared at all to redeem me, a worthless sinner such as I am, to redeem me, to save me from death and from hell. That's how I know that my God loves me, the true and living God, the God who is love. No other religion can point to anything even remotely like this. This is the true God. This is the true gospel. This is the true way to God, the only way. And so these words, they are so wonderful. Do you know this salvation? Do you understand the cost, the price to all those who reject the gospel? What a terrible thing. If somebody gave you a gift, maybe at Christmas or for your birthday, somebody gave you a gift and it was £1 million. Somebody had spent £1 million to give you this gift. Surely you would consider it, at the very least. Surely you would open it. Surely you would delight in it because of the cost. If you were to reject it and say, oh, well, I'll just put it to one side, I won't even look at it, won't even open it. What a terrible thing that is. But is that how you treat the gospel? It's the most precious thing, the costliest thing this world could ever know, the precious blood of Christ. And yet so many people, they don't even want to look at the gift. They just put it to one side. I'm not interested in this gift that has cost the precious blood of Christ. Dear friends, this is a tremendous sin. It's an enormous sin to reject the gospel message, to reject this glorious offer of salvation, to trample upon the blood of Christ. Dear friends, let it not be so. Let us come to Christ. Let us worship him and know him and repent and have faith. These things are so important. May the Lord bless these things to us.